What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Building Through Strength podcast. And now we are on YouTube. Yes, yes, I said it. We're on YouTube now. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, if you're listening to this on Spotify Podcasts or on YouTube, I want to say thank you. I am your host, Kyle Penix. And, let's go ahead and get into it. Today's episode is titled Nobody Claps for Quiet Progress. Um, This episode for me is personal. This episode is for the ones who've been showing up with no recognition, no reward, just obedience. Um, Nobody is clapping for your quiet progress, but that's where the real strength is always built. You're not you're not behind. If nobody's clapping for you or you're doing something really good, you may feel like, "Oh, I'm not doing as good as I want to," or nobody's noticing what I'm doing. You're not behind. Like, you're rebuilding. You're making an image for yourself. You're branding yourself a totally different way, and that's okay. And a lot of times in today's society, we see guys working out in the rain, or we see people talking about their healing journey. Some people talk about their spiritual journey. And, if you're one of those people who feel comfortable enough to post it and do it, please, by all means, do it. Share your testimony, share your story, because that's exactly what I'm doing with this podcast. But you don't have to post it. You don't have to show everybody, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Because you're still growing in it, even though nobody else is seeing it. The reason why I'm started this podcast, the reason why I'm doing this podcast is just because I have that voice. I felt like I've had that voice and that gift to just talk to people and just talk in general in a way that people can really understand me. So, I mean, if you feel the same way, then by all means, post it. Make that fitness page, make that healing journey, do whatever you can do. But if that's not the type of person you are, then by all means, just keep it on the lowdown. Keep it up with whatever you're doing. A question I have for you is, what's one thing that you've done this week that nobody saw but God did? And you can, if you're on YouTube, type it in the comments if you want to, put it in your notes, write it down on a piece of paper. Just just think about that. Think about that one thing. We're used to measuring success by attention, but it's really about saying no to something toxic. It's really about showing up for therapy if you go to therapy or talking to a friend. And it's about sitting in church without battling doubt. Like, there's so many times that for me, there's been times where I wanted to say no to something, but I didn't have that self-discipline in my own mind to say no to it because I was scared of impressing others or scared of, that rejection or just scared of making myself look bad. There's been times where I didn't want to go to physical therapy for my knee. And because I knew that, I was struggling with some stuff and I knew that physical therapy was going to be physically taxing on me and my body. And I was just like, there was days like I didn't want to go. And then there were also times where I was sitting in church. There were times where I was sitting in church and I was like, dang, like the preacher, he's really preaching today. And I kind of feel like he's talking to me. But, showing up in those cases, showing up for yourself is the most important thing that you can do. Say no to something toxic. If you're in a toxic relationship and it's not growing you physically, mentally, and spiritually, get out of it. There's no point in staying. If you feel like you can fight for it, then all means fight for it. But if it's doing nothing but bringing you down, you have to say no to that. Say no to toxic people. If you got a whole bunch of judgmental people around you or somebody judgmental around you, just you might have to get out of that, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine by all means because it's for you. Um, show up to therapy, show up, talk about things that you need, show up, talk about problems that you're having. Physically, show up to therapy because it's gonna make you better somehow, some way. And church, man. sometimes that doubt that you're battling might be sleep. You might be sleepy in church, but find a way to stay up, stay locked in. Find a way to do what you got to do to get over and get through on the other side. Um, but yeah, healing isn't always loud. It's often slow and it's holy. Talk to God. Um, let God understand what you're dealing with, what you're going through, because He wants to hear that stuff. He wants to hear you talk to Him. He wants to hear you pray. Like he wants you to say, God, I'm dealing with this. God, I'm dealing with that. God, I don't know, because He's there to help you. I promise you, He's there to help you. And another good point that I have down is you're not lazy if you feel stagnant about something. You're just recovering. One of the best things that I like to do for recovery in college, after a long game where I'm taking hits and taking blows, that Sunday after, usually right before our Sunday lift, we would have like a recovery time in our training room. And one of the recovery things that we would do is we would sit in those compression boots, and in the compression boots, we would you just have to just sit there for like an hour or so at a time, or like 30 to 45 minutes sometimes. And you can't move in those compression boots. You're still. And just because I'm just sitting there doesn't mean that I'm not working hard. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing anything. It just means that I'm recovering. I'm resting. That's the same as taking a nap or something. You're recovering, you're resting. You know what I'm saying? So have you ever confused stillness with failure? Because I surely have. There's been times where I've sat on my couch on some days, I'm on TikTok or I'm on Instagram or I'm watching TV or something like that, and I'm like, "Dang, like, I'm not doing anything right now. Am I supposed to be doing something? Like, am I supposed like, that times where you don't feel anything, like, you feel like you're doing anything productive? You may need that sit down time. You may need it for yourself. Um, and honestly, when I tore my meniscus, I lost more than just my strength. I lost the momentum that I felt like I was gaining during the football season physically. I lost my confidence. I lost my swagger, my gangster. I lost all of that. Um, and it was real. When I went through my breakup, that tore me to different kinds of muscle, my heart, my mind, my peace. It it hurt me bad, and kind of it still is, but I know that I'm healing somehow, some way. Um, and the thing is, like, that healing looks so much different for everybody. It looks so much weirder for some people. Some people heal within a month. Some people heal within 3 months. It may be a year. And sometimes it may be never fully healing. But you have to, start small, start slow. And if it is too slow, or as you think, just remember you are still healing somehow, some way. Um, but the thing is, like, through all of that, I still had to find a way to show up. Once I got into physical therapy, I showed up twice a week. Um, through the breakup, I stayed in the gym. Once when I came to God, my first when I finally came back to God, I will say, stayed in my word. It was honestly, it felt all of the weight around me, it just made everything feel quiet. It made me feel alone. It was really heavy on my heart, and sometimes it still is. But the best way that I could handle that, or the best thing that I could really deal with that thought, was just knowing that I had God with me, knowing that I had somebody that I could talk to 24/7 without judgment. And that's real. Um, so, like, there were nights there was no camera, there were nobody clapping for me, even though, like, I was making progress. it was just God and grit with me. Um, I'm very stubborn. I'm Once I get my mind set on one thing, I get locked into it, and it can be a really, really good thing for me if I use it right. And I would say a few months ago, I was still locked in, same mindset, but it was towards the wrong things. I was feeding and giving into the wrong things. But the second that you start to shift your mindset and shift what you're thinking about and how you're thinking about it, that's when everything just transforms. God stripped me away of who I thought I had to be, and now he's starting to build me into the man that I was born to become. And he's doing that for you. If you're going through something, he's breaking you down so he can build you up. That's the first thing that God is going to do with you in your life once you give your life to him. That's just like, for instance, we got a new receivers coach my sophomore year. Um, and no, sophomore, my no, I'm lying to you. I s- I had two different receiver coaches, but um, the one that I'm talking about, Michael Lee Harris, we got him my senior year, and I played receiver sophomore and junior year. But what I noticed the most about Coach Lee was he came in and his first thing was, we're gonna take everything that y'all learned as being receivers, throw it out the window, and he's gonna start us fresh as what he wants us to do. That's exactly what God is doing in your life. When you're going through hardships and you're going through difficulties and you're going through hard times, God is going to take away a lot of stuff that you may care about, that you may love, and that you may want about, and He's going to give you new. Hey, come here. Sorry, I just got a dog, and he's messing with my camera. Hold up, come here, buddy. Oh, everybody meet Asher. He's a rescue from Spartanburg Humane Society. I needed a little buddy with me, and I decided to go get him. But uh, he's messing with my camera right now. It's okay. Um, but yeah, God's gonna break you down, and it's gonna hurt. I promise you, it's gonna hurt. But He's building you up for so much better that you don't even realize. I promise you. Um, and in that time, you're gonna be feeling down. You're gonna be feeling lonely. You're feeling gonna be feeling like, dang, like the world is against me, and I really don't know how to handle this. But Galatians chapter 6, verse 9 says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Like, the blessing comes not through being seen, but staying consistent. The blessing comes from not being seen. God doesn't care if everybody sees us. He doesn't care if the world sees us. He cares as long as I wake up every single morning, put 2 feet on the ground, get dressed, brush my teeth, go out the door, and ready to kill it every single day. There may be days where you don't feel like you're killing it, but showing up and attempting to kill it is killing it. I promise you that. And it took me time to learn that. It truly did take me time to learn that just showing up and making an effort is way better than not showing up at all, because you're trying. The gym alone has also taught me about quiet progress. Um, when you're in the gym by yourself, it's nobody's clapping for your progress. Only time they see my progress is if I post a little flexing video or a progress video on Instagram or TikTok. But the thing is, like, that's not all it is. I don't record my warm-ups. I don't record my stretches or anything, but nobody claps for warm-ups. Nobody claps for mobility. But the thing is, that's where durability is built. Like, yes, it's nice for me to record set 1 through set 5 of whatever, but how am I gonna get to set 5 without injury if I didn't warm up those muscles properly? Or how will I be feeling to do chest and back if I'm sore from the last push day that I did? Nobody's gonna do that. But Nobody's gonna clap, but it's okay. Like, you still need it. You still need it very much. My lifting tip of the day, film one workout this week. Film one workout this week just for you. Don't post it. Just watch your form and fix your silence. Watch your form, fix your silence. You don't grow on test day. You grow in the shadows. Football analogy. You have you play like 12, 13 games in a season. You have, you know, out of those 12, 13 games, like that's your test day. That's what you do. That's your game day. That's what everybody sees. But within let's go with just 12. Within those 12 days, you have 5 days of practice, Monday through Friday. So if you total that up, you have 12 games but 60 days of practice. 12 games and 60 days of practice. You're learning as you go through those 60 days of practice throughout the whole season. And that's your life. Your test day may look different from my test day. Your practice may look different from my practice. People are going to see different things on your test day than they're going to see at my test day. Some people's practice may be some people's test day. You never know. You never know. Um and another thing, strong men are built quietly. If you're a female listening to this, strong women are built quietly. Anybody who is strong is always built quietly. You know, our biggest thing was I was just talking to a buddy the other day. Um, you have certain guys in the weight room. You have some guys who are those rah-rah guys, and some guys are those, you know, banging my head on the wall, trying to lift the most weight. And some guys are like that on the field. One of my best friends, Jihad, he's one of those guys, and Max, who was on the one of those our second episode. Um, they're both rah-rah guys who show it up on the field. Like, they're gonna talk. But, like, yes, people notice them, but there's still some guys that don't talk at all on the field or in the weight room, but they're grinding. I have a buddy from high school. His name is Seth Jeffries. Kid barely said a word. Most nicest, humblest kid ever. But if we're running inside zone and Seth is filling that A gap, I promise you, your running back is not getting through the A gap. He was, a head on collisioner. Like, he loved that contact, but he was quiet, and his silence spoke for itself. Nobody messed with him because of how silent of a killer he was. So my question to you here is, where in life do you need to fix your form privately, not publicly? Publicly. Where where in life, are you like, "Dang, I am talking a little too much. Maybe I should tone it down," or, "Dang, maybe I have this lust problem or this lying problem or this so and so problem. I need to tone it down." Take that self-evaluation of yourself, because self-evaluation is the most important thing that you should do. At the end of the day, was my day good? Did I do this good? Did I do that good? And how did I turn out from, the fruits of my labor, per se. Our rep for the soul is, if you're holding something heavy in silence right now, God sees it. He saw the prayer you never finished. He saw the cry you buried. He saw the effort nobody noticed. And he says, "Well done. Don't give up. I'm still working." Here it goes, y'all. Rep for the soul. Obedience in silence is still obedience. Progress in private is still progress. God doesn't need a crown to move. He just needs your consistency. All right. We appreciate y'all this week. You know, we got some stuff moving on. I think y'all really going to be excited for Thursday's episode. I'm really excited for it. I'll give you a little information on that tomorrow in our Strength in Five, our little 3 minute to 5 minute segment. Just me introducing our guest and the topic. But this week, give yourself permission to keep growing, even if nobody sees it. You're doing better than you think. I promise you. You're not falling off. You're not falling deeper into what you're becoming. All right. Like it, share this, comment this, share with whoever you can, whoever you love. I know you did not just hold up, y'all. My bad. Asher was playing with his lamb and ended up messing it up. But anyways, I guess he's telling me to get off the podcast for the night. Anyways, for everybody, keep 2 feet up. Oh, I messed that up all the way. This is my new saying. All right, bet. Keep 2 feet down, keep one head up. And for now and for always, 143, baby. Y'all have a good one.